This here is a homemade ultrasonic distance sensor that I've made in order to show you how these modules work. The working principle is quite simple, but the circuit could get a bit tricky. We send an ultrasonic wave with a transmitter speaker. The wave hits an obstacle and bounces back to the receiver speaker. We calculate the time between the send and receive poles, and by knowing the speed of sound, which is constant, we can calculate the distance. In this video we will analyze this commercial ultrasonic module, talk about the theory so we could learn something new, and then create our own module. Please, if you consider helping this kind of projects, check my Patreon page, link is below. Thank you very much, so let's get started. Project sponsored by JLCPCB. With their services you could get professional made PCBs with different colors and from 2 up to 6 layers and receive the boards in a few days. Very easy, upload your Gerber files to JLCPCB.com, select the settings and order the PCB with prices starting from only $2. What's up my friends, welcome back. To begin this project I first analyzed this commercial ultrasonics distance sensor, the SR04. What I can see is that it has 4 pins: ground, power, trigger and echo. It has some components on the back, and on the front part the main components, 2 ultrasonic speakers. One as the transmitter and the other one as a receiver. Each time we apply a pulse to the trigger pin, the transmitter speaker creates a 14 kHz sound wave. To see more details, I connect the module on a breadboard following this schematic. With the Arduino Uno, I supply 5 volts and apply a pulse to the trigger pin each 100 milliseconds. Now I connect my oscilloscope to the transmitter and receiver speakers, and this is what I see. The green line is the created 14 kHz square wave that is being sent with the speaker, and the yellow line is the received signal. Now I place my hand in front of the sensor. As you can see, the time between the send and receive signal increases with the distance from the sensor to the object. Right in this position, the distance to the object is 10 cm, as you can see on the digital caliper. I measure the time between the send pulse and the received signal on my oscilloscope, and we have around 588 microseconds. The speed of sound is 34,000 centimeters per second. So in 588 microseconds we've made around 20 centimeters. Why 20 and not 10? Well, that is the time it took the sound wave to go to the object and get back. So it's double the distance. So all we have to do is to divide it by 2. Okay guys, so now we know that there is a relation between the distance and the delay time between the signals. And the use formula to obtain the distance is more than easy using the sound speed. But now let's connect the trigger and echo pin to the oscilloscope. As you can see now on my oscilloscope with the green line, each 100 milliseconds the Arduino applies a small pulse to the trigger pin. But now I enable the other input, and here is the echo signal with the yellow line. As you can see, the signal is always low, and it will be only high after the trigger pulse and before the receive signal. Also, now I have the trigger pulse and the 8 cycle sonic burst, and there is a delay around 250 microseconds between. Also, the sonic burst is 200 microseconds, so we should send the sonic burst after 250 and activate the echo to high after that, like this. And the width of the echo signal gives us the time. So, in order to know how this module does that, let's take a look over the components. On this side I can see a voltage level driver, the MAX232, usually used in logic ward communications. So that is used to provide power to the transmitter speaker. On the other side I can see an op-amp that is used to compare and amplify the received signals. And in the middle there is an STC microcontroller. This controller does the entire job. It receives the trigger pulse, creates a 14 kHz square wave applied to the voltage shifter and then to the transmitter speaker. The receiver gives a signal which is then amplified with the op-amp, and the microcontroller reads that signal, and when the 14 kHz frequency is detected, puts the echo pin to low. A high frequency is used in order to avoid any other random signal that could trigger the receiver speaker. As you can see, the speaker will only give a signal when the high frequency sound hits it. Okay, so now that we know the theory and what we have to do, let's build our own module. I bought 2 of these ultrasonic speakers. It's strange that the speaker itself is more expensive than the entire commercial ultrasonic module. But anyway, I've also bought some op-amps and some level shifters, and for the microcontroller we will use the Arduino. The Arduino Nano is just for this prototype. I will later create a PCB and send it to JLCPCB and create my own module with the SMD version of the Atmega chip, so the board will be very small. This is the schematic that I've created for this project. I have pins for trigger and echo. Then the microcontroller connected to the level shifter, and it will apply 8 cycles of 14 kHz signal after the trigger pulse applied to the transmitter speaker. Before mounting the PCB, I've made some tests. The good thing of using the MAX 232 is that it has a voltage doubler and one inverter. So I apply a 5V square to it and I can get over 30 volts peak to peak at the output that goes to the speakers, and that will increase the range. As you can see, I send the square signal and receive that on the other speaker, and the delay between the signals will change with the distance. The receiver speaker receives the bounce sound wave, but the voltage created by that is very low, as you can see here on the oscilloscope. For that I will use an op-amp and amplify the signal. We will have some potentiometers, so we could set the threshold value and obtain a square wave that the Arduino could now read. So that's it. The circuit is ready and this is the final board. I have the transmitter speaker amplified on this side, the receiver with an op-amp on the other side, and the input pins for the trigger and echo. After I program it, I test it using an Arduino Uno, and by connecting the trigger and echo pins to the oscilloscope, it should work as the commercial one. And yes, the width of the echo pulse changes with the distance, as you can see now. Okay guys, now let's look over the code, and please read all the comments line by line in order to understand more. First, we define the pins for the inputs and outputs. First of all, we wait for the trigger pin to go high. Till then, the code won't do anything. When the trigger pin is detected as high, an interruption will fire and the code starts. First of all, we add a delay of 250 microseconds, as we have seen before, and then we create the 8 cycles of 14 kHz onto the speaker out pins, and also set the echo pin to high. After that, when the interruption on the speaker input pin is made, we put the echo pin back to low and reset the loop, and that will create the width of the echo signal. Okay, now I upload the code and let's test it. I've connected this LCD to another Arduino and connected D3 and D4 to trigger and echo pins of my homemade module. Now I upload this code to the second Arduino and place an object in front of the sensor. This code will only apply a trigger pulse and measure the delay between the sent signal and the received echo, and then print the distance on the LCD. And there you have it. I can now measure the distance. Also, on the oscilloscope, I connect the trigger and echo pins from my homemade module, and as in case of the commercial module, I have the echo pulse that changes according to the distance. The most difficult part was adjusting the potentiometers of all 3 amplifying stages, in order to get a good echo signal. Also, I had to add a BJT to the MAX 232 in order to activate it or deactivate it for only when I'm sending the pulse, and I had to figure that out. The homemade version is more expensive, but it was made for learning purposes. Now you know how these modules work and how to make one, and you could apply this theory for bigger projects or even a big radar like in these photos made with tin cans. Maybe this will be a future project for my channel. I'm pretty satisfied with the results. I can measure distances up to 1.5 meters. You have all the schematics, the codes and more photos on my webpage electronoobs.com, and the links for that are below in the description. I hope that you enjoyed this tutorial and that you've learned something new, since that is the purpose of this channel. If so, don't forget to click the like button like crazy and share this video with your friends. If you have any question about this video or any other, just leave it in the comment section below or on my Q&A page. Also, don't forget to subscribe and watch all of my other great tutorials. Remember, if you consider helping my projects, check my Patreon page as well. Thanks again and see you later, guys.